Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here. Welcome back to Mocha Bear's Hobby Den. Today we're going to talk about the 40k announcements that were revealed in Adepticon 2026. Shall we get started? Alright, so if you did not watch Adepticon's reveal show, it's okay. I went back and watched part of the live specifically for the 40k announcements. I meant to watch it as it was live, but I ended up missing it because I forgot what day it was. So I ended up watching some of it the night after, but it worked out because apparently there were a lot of technical issues during the stream to where on here, if you go to their channel, their live stream for the Adepticon reveals was split up into 2 hour-long videos because I guess it cut out on them halfway through. Some interesting stuff. Of course, like I said, they announced 11th edition. We knew they were going to. 11th edition is going to be coming out in June this year, so very, very soon. So let's go ahead and pop over. I have 3 articles open up from Warhammer community. So first one, Warhammer 40,000, the new edition is revealed at Adepticon Preview 2026. We've got the lore. After the events of Armageddon, the return of Yarrick, the Imperial forces on the war world are in dire straits. The Ork vanguard led by Wazdaka Gutsmech has landed, and Gazgul's main force isn't far behind. Yeah, I am revealing. I'm going over this a little out of order, but we're going over the big news first. Of course, so everything 11th edition is going to focus on Armageddon. It is a war planet that the Orks have taken over from the Imperium, and they are coming back to take it back. From my understanding, you've got Space Wolves, Salamanders, Ultramarines, White Scar. I believe there are Black Templars there. Of course, Blood Angels. And as you can see here on the picture, those are Blood Angels. And I know that that character in the middle is their chaplain. I believe that is the character who has an actual model that needs updated badly. So you know we're going to be getting that updated this coming edition. But here's the box cover art from what I saw and have heard. This is very similar to the 2nd edition box, which you see here. And I thought that was pretty cool to have a callback to 2nd edition, to have one of the previous editions, pretty much just a updated modern art piece for it. But yeah, that was pretty cool to see. They did not reveal a lot of what's coming in the box set. They've revealed 2 models, which we will go over, but they are going to be revealing more of what's going to be inside the box soon. Most likely, let's see here. Most likely going to be, if not next week, it'll be 2 weeks from now. So we've got that. The 2 new models we've got is the new Intercessor model. So as you can see here, and of course, partially over me, you will see the modern Intercessor model, where the big difference that I noticed initially was the helmet, specifically in the face region, but then also the knee portion of the armor, where a lot of people didn't even catch that. And then someone I saw was pointing out about how the pauldrons seem bigger. And there was some mentions in the past few months that there was a rumor going around that Space Marines upcoming models were going to be a cross of armor pieces from the modern and previous models, like previous edition armor that they wore. So this is that, where we are seeing parts of modern and previous power armor being combined. And then we have the Ork Boy, where I am not an Ork player, never have been. I have some Ork models for Age of Sigmar from 3rd edition. Yeah, 3rd edition. And that's it. I have not bought any Orks really since then. Apparently the Ork Boys, they originally could only come with melee or ranged. You can only build them one way or the other. Now you're going to be able to build them with both weapons. So those of you who are Ork players, is that like how does that make you feel? I thought that was actually a pretty cool concept. Initially, I was not planning on trying to get the launch box set, just because we had heard months ago that it's going to be Space Marines. They're focusing on Blood Angels, but they did say that none of the models will have Blood Angel sculpts on them. So you can get the box of the Space Marines and paint them built towards any Space Marine chapter you want. The artwork is going to be Blood Angels. I figured that'd be a good idea because we don't know what new models are going to be in there, but I would like I'm going to want them. So that's going to be the cheapest route to go, especially the fastest route to get the new rule book. Otherwise, I'll have to wait about 3-4 weeks after the launch of, or the release of the starter box set, the launch box set. I was like, you know what, Orks, fine, I'll have them. If I want to build them and use them for like a small combat patrol thing, cool. If I want to build them, paint them, and sell them, I can build, paint, and sell them. Or I can just sell them on the sprues to someone. We'll see. Unless one of my friends want them, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll sell them for like a really good price for them because I know. But yeah, the rules was really cool to hear about this. So what does this new edition talk mean for your existing army and their codexes? They announced all of your current codexes that are released will work for 11th edition. Of course, throughout the edition, armies are going to get new codexes because of new models, new rules, updates, things like that. But your current 10th edition codexes will work for 11th edition. They also announced detachments are changing. However, detachments are changing to give you more flexibility on how you build your army. You can now sometimes select multiple detachments for a bespoke set of army abilities. So you'll be able to bring to life your vision of how your army should fight. And at the launch of the new edition, there will be over 70 new detachments. New and updated detachments, my apologies. If you are very attached to your current army, don't panic. The detachments in your current codexes still work too. You just have even more options. Yeah, so 70, over 70. Interesting to see what they're going to do. Of course, they did announce that the app is going to get a big update to where not only will the new detachments get added, the new core rules will be added, but then they also announced the language edition. So German, Spanish, French, Italian, I think they said Portuguese and Korean. Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. I know that. I don't remember if Portuguese was in there. But that's cool. I had no idea that it was only in English. Not a clue until then. And then your choice of detachments are now also affect your missions. So missions are going to be affected. Your objective in a game will now be in part dictated by the type of army you bring to the field and the force your opponent has brought. Armies that specialize in holding ground will be rewarded for doing so, while other forces that may be optimized for disrupting enemy plans or just killing lots of enemies will be rewarded for doing that too. This is a really good, cool idea. They said that they were going to meld narrative play into tournament play. So you weren't going to have strictly tournament versus strictly narrative. They were going to be combining that, which I think is a really cool idea. I'm excited to see that. Another thing, objectives. I've been looking at buying the objective circles for the longest time. I even printed some out. Like I found a picture with the Necron's Ankh, put a number in the center, printed them out, and then cut them out. Big circles. It took me like 5 tries of prints to get the right size and measurements for them because of the program I had access to. No circles. Round objective markers are gone and replaced by terrain footprints to determine control of key locations, relics, or fortifications. Now, in the preview show, it looked like they were actual like pieces of like there was rectangle, there was triangular, semicircle. It looked like they were bits that you would put on the table that your terrain could go on. I don't know if that was just used for example or if they're actually going to be releasing those. And if they do, are they going to release them in the starter box sets, the launch box set, separately to where you can get them? And if so, how much are they going to be? Or maybe they'll just give you a template that you can print out for free online and be able to put them on your table that way, which would be easier. Or is it just like, okay, this is where you set up the terrain and then you just go from there? Well, we'll find out more in the upcoming months. The terrain rules have seen a big shakeup. The default bonus for cover now impacts hit rolls, not saves, and units are generally far easier to hide than they previously were, which I thought was really cool. They announced that models that are starting into, like when you start your game, any models that are inside terrain, they can be in there as long as they have not shot yet. They cannot be targeted by your opponent. And I think there's going to be like some special rules that will allow your opponent to target them, but those are going to be like very special, specific models that can do that. But we'll see how that goes. I thought that was really cool. They said that that as long as you have not attacked or you have not shot, you will be fine. Or unless your opponent is within 15 inches. So if they are outside 15 inches and you have not shot yet, and your models are inside a terrain, inside a building, they will be safe. That is going to make things so much easier and more cool for narrative play, because the example they use is like you've got Astro Militarum on the rooftops waiting to for an ambush as their target walks through the alley or whatnot, and then you stand up and shoot. They don't know you're there. That is the concept we're going with. That if you have not shot and you are not in 15 inches, then they don't know you're there. Combat, there have been a range of subtle changes to combat that add to quite a different feel and a cleaner fight phase. Changes include more flexibility for picking targets when charging, changes to activation order, fast dice rolling for dealing damage, which they admitted a lot of people do fast dice rolling anyway, and changes to the order of consolidation and pile-in moves. I thought that that was so cool with the charging phase being changed. I like that rule now. They said that it is to encourage people getting into combat, to get into the fights, because currently you have to pre-measure, make sure that your target you want to is at most 12 inches away, and we all know that that is a hard roll to make. Now what you do is you decide you're going to charge, you roll your dice, you see how much you roll, so how far you can move, and then you determine who you are charging. Because if you have a target that is 9 inches away or 12 inches away even, that you are wanting to charge 12 inches, but you're not sure you can make it, currently most people wouldn't attempt that. People are like, it's too far, I don't want to risk it. But then you have someone that's 5 inches away, you're like, I could have, but I don't know, so let me not. They are now encouraging it. So you roll, say you wanted that 12, but there's someone that's 5 away, you roll a 5. Well, you roll higher than 5, but less than 12. You can charge that 5. If they were like, and plus, you might get that 12. Who knows? And so like I said, their main goal was to encourage charging and getting into melee combat, which is very dangerous if you're going against berserkers and corn players. Our coverage of this groundbreaking new edition will begin soon. So check back with Warhammer Community each week to see what's coming up in the next evolution of Warhammer 40,000. So we're going to most likely get some information today. They are probably now, today, finally going to announce, hey, Reign of Iron will be pre-orderable this Saturday. Because the next thing that we'll go over is Wazdaka Gutsmech battles Commissar Yarrick for the fate of Armageddon. So here's Wazdaka Gutsmech. He is the bike boss. Again, I am not a orc player. I've never heard of this character. I don't know if he is a known character or not. It is a cool looking model though on his choppa, especially with the clawed hand and the jet thruster on the back of the bike. I do like, we've got the Space Marine helmet on the totem on the back of his bike. Again, his war bike Big Reva is the name. Those of you who are orc players and have read books or lore about the orcs, do you know who this is? How big a deal is he? I want to hear from you in the comments down below. Here's the back piece, and this right there was the image that we had seen recently when they revealed some upcoming models, and there was a close-up of the face. We're like, oh, well, that's definitely going to be orcs for the new edition. But then, of course, the big thing is Commissar Yarrick, who everyone for I don't know how long has thought was dead. He had been rumored that he'd been gone. They thought he was dead, and then all of a sudden he shows up. He's got a massive glow up compared to the old model, where now he's got the pieces on his knees to help him walk. He's got an upgrade to the claw and the backpack that he's got on. His face even looks nicer than the current edition model that is out, the smaller one. So I was like, I am not an Astra Militarum player. I've thought about it multiple times, but that's a cool model. However, this one made me like, ooh, I kind of want to get that. Commissar Graves, who apparently can be built in 2 different ways. Commissar Athenia Graves can be built like this, where she is on top of her vehicle, inspiring and leading her troops. She's got the entourage in the back with her, her personal banner, and then you can build her on her own, standing on these stairs with the Astra Militarum helmet and a skull inside of it. I'm very curious, and yeah, that's all going to be in one box. It's a tall box. It's as tall as like the Void Dragon box set. I'm curious how people are going to try to magnetize her to where they can set her up in both ways, because you know people are going to want to do that. And you know damn well that the vehicle one is going to cost more. So you're going to see a lot of her on foot with smaller units probably. Then when they introduced Inquisitor Croyle, he's like a game hunter, like a big game hunter. He's hunted many species to extinction, and apparently his current mount that he is on is the last of its species because he hunted the rest of them into extinction. He's noted for his big rifle here, which is a sniper rifle, so he is going to have lone ops, and he's most likely going to have precision because of sniper. So he's going to be very dangerous on the table. He and his mount have 2 head options. So as you see here on the left, he has no helmet, and his mount has a different face mask where it's covering just the eyes. Where on the right, he's wearing his helmet, and his mount has the full face muzzle. Then, of course, the Sisters of Battle, the Intransia Frayed Dogmata Superior model. When I first saw it, I was like, huh, model on the throne, that's interesting. Oh, it's a walker. Again, I'm not a Sisters of Battle player, but this looks like a cool model. This looks like one I would get just to build and to paint and then have on display. That's what I would do. But yeah, I have no, and of course she's got 2 head options as well. One helmeted, one unhelmeted. I like the helmet personally, but of course any models like that, I would just magnetize the neck. Just put a magnet in the top of the collarbone or in the little slot in the top of the model's torso, and then just drill a hole into the bottom of the head and just set it in there. And then the big thing for Astra Militarum were vehicles. The Centaur RSV, which looks really cool. It's pretty much almost a deuce and a half, where it's got a turret coming out of the cab. Again, making it really difficult to not want to be an Astra Militarum player, just because I love the look of the uniforms and how realistic they are. And then here you can see more images of it where you've got the gunner and then you've got the 2 in the back. Some people are probably just going to now want to build those guys and put them in the back. They might want to put them for something else. But I think that's really cool. And of course, it's got Cadia on the side. The other vehicle, the Hippogriff AFV, is a light armored scouting tank. Again, I think that's really cool. These both are models I would want to get just to build and to paint for display, personally, unless I started the army. And then, of course, the Hippogriff has multiple weapon options here. You can see the cannon and machine gun on the left. On the right, you've got a Gatling gun, and it looks like a machine gun. Then you've got a laser, and it looks like a flamer. And then you've got 2 flamers. I'm guessing that's what those are. And then Armageddon, the Return of Yarrick. So this is going to be the 4th and final end of edition campaign book. Again, Reign of Iron is supposed to be coming out soon. They'll probably announce that today. I've said that for the past 2 weeks now, but it's most likely going to be today. The release of this video, you're watching that they'll announce it in a couple hours, and then we'll probably have this announced and probably near the end of April. So probably in like 3-4 weeks, they'll announce this for pre-order, which again, I'm excited for these editions because of the new rules and stuff. So Tale of Yarrick's returned, Armageddon and the desperate fight against Wazdaka. Gutsmech Speedwa is told in Armageddon Return of Yarrick. The next major expansion for Warhammer 40,000, Armageddon is split into 3 books contained in a decorative slipcase, packing loads of all new rules and background lore into one convenient package. So again, just like the Reign of Iron, we are only getting 2 rule books and then two thicker books and then a detachment book. So Reign of Iron and Armageddon are both doing that, versus 500 Worlds and Maelstrom, where we got 3 of the thicker books and then the detachment book. So I have not heard about the prices for Reign of Iron, if it's going to be the same price that the other 2 were, which was $80, which I feel like would be a ripoff if they did that. It should be at least, or I'm sorry, at most 70 if they're taking a whole book out. So we'll see how that goes. In addition to the main book that covers the story of Armageddon's latest devastating war and Yarrick's desperate gambit to rally Imperial reinforcements, you'll also get a booklet of 6 new vehicle-focused attachments, 2 each for the Astra Militarum, Orks, and Space Marines, and the Armored Gauntlet book. This rule supplement encourages players to field as many tanks, monsters, and war machines as possible, with the largest enjoying newfound durability through damage tables and powerful upgrades. So the only armies I have that really uses monsters are Tyranids. So I'm curious to see what they do for that. Then, of course, here's the Armageddon Battalion boxes. Here we have the Astra Militarum. They are going to do Astra Militarum, the Adeptus Sororitas with Sisters of Battle, and Deathwatch and Orks. But here the Astra Militarum is all vehicles. So for this, we have the Hippogriff AFV. That's 2 of those. My apologies, 2 Hippogriffs. 1 Centaur RSV. So both new vehicles, one of which we're getting 2 of in that. So if you don't want to magnetize, you have the option to build them different ways. And then a Rogel Dorn battle tank, along with 10 Cadian shock troopers to ride in the Centaur. That's really cool. I think this would be a great box for Astra Militarum players, even if you have, especially if you've not started or you just started and got combat patrol. This would be an excellent box for you to get. This is going to be like probably 220, around 220 for that. I guarantee it. Here is the Sisters of Battle, or the Adeptus Sororitas box set, or I can't remember what they're called, but the box set for Armageddon. We've got Sisters of Battle. We've got the Deathwatch, which was a surprise for me to see. I wasn't expecting to see Deathwatch with this. And then, where's my... Oh, here it is. I was like, where'd the arrow go? Here are the Orks. It is vehicle focused, of course. The Adeptus Sororitas stick to their walking warriors for their battalion, but don't pull any punches. Okay, here we go. So Paragon war suits, so that's those 3 big ones in the back. Palatine lead a mobile contingent of light infantry. Okay, so I don't know what the Palatine is. Then we've got 10 Sisters Novitiate, 10 Sisters Repentia. The ideal accompaniment, there we go. I was struggling with that word, for Intransia Frey, who I'm guessing is this character here with the cape. Could be wrong. Then for the Deathwatch, you've got 2 5-man kill teams and a fast and deadly Corvus Blackstar, which is the flyer. Meanwhile, the Orks properly commit to their love for reckless speed with a ramshackle squadron of 6 Deathcopters. There we go. Roaring ahead of the Green Tide, led by Deathkilla Wartrike and a Ruck Truck Squig Buggy. And yeah, there is Squig there that he is holding in the back. Interesting. You love Breath, don't worry, we are too. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this. And then, of course, we have the kill team notification. Now, of course, this isn't the typical stuff that I talk about, but the Red Terror hunts elite Cadians in new kill team expansion. I'm a Tyranids player. We're getting the Red Terror. Finally, Red Terror is coming back in a plastic model, and it's going to come with 10 10 termagants. We're gonna termagants with it, and that is my main focus. I don't know if it's gonna come with any terrain, but look at that. That is glorious. I want it, and I will not be painting it in my custom Hive Fleet colors. I will be painting it red as the Red Terror. Here are the Acadians. I still have not really looked through the rules of Kill Team, so I don't understand how everything works in that gameplay, but that's okay. I have time. Of course, you get the rule book, you get the punch outs, you get the cards, and then the Kill Team Nemesis Operatives. Whether you're looking to add some serious muscle to your kill team or whip up a deadly boss encounter for your joint ops missions, Kill Team Nemesis Operatives has a tool for the job. This book provides commanders with a flexible set of rules to create their own Nemesis Operatives, generating characteristics, weapons, and abilities suitable for your own scenarios. I thought that was really cool. For instance, your stealth battlesuit kill team might call upon a crisis battlesuit ally when much heavier firepower is required. Your go-getting wreck crew might burst through a wall only to find a massive Tyranid screamer killer on the other side. Both teams might need to tiptoe around the periphery while a dreadnought and hellbrute lock in a deadly duel in the center. Which was that they what they mentioned, and here you see a picture of it, of a dreadnought. They were talking about how you have two forces, each has one has a hellbrute, one has a dreadnought, and the two big mechs will go at it in the center while the rest fight on the sides. I thought that was a really cool concept. This was one of some of the examples they gave, the Amble and the Archivist, which are from Black Library, from what they said. I remember seeing pictures of the Archivist. I've never seen the Amble. The Amble I thought would be a really cool model for D&D, so I might get them just for that. But yeah, that is everything that I found of interest for 40K during the Adepticon 2026 preview show. If there was anything I missed that you saw, there's like, hey, why didn't you talk about this? Or if I missed something, let me know. Say, hey, this is going on, talk about that. Or just send me links and whatnot. I can go check them out. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you thought about that with the upcoming models, the upcoming Armageddon campaign book, upcoming in 11th edition in June that is going to be Armageddon focused. Yeah, so like the current edition, it started with Tyranids while last edition was Necrons, and then near the end of this we started getting Necron stuff, hence with 500 worlds. Now we're ending with Armageddon, and then we're going to be starting with Armageddon. Is the Tyrannic War stuff going to be showing up at the end of 11th edition? I'm curious about that. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a like, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the bell icon, set notifications to all, get notified when I upload videos and do live streams. Comment down below if you did or did not find this interesting, informative, helpful. If it brought you more questions, let me know. Did you get to watch the preview show? What are you excited for? Whether it's the new rules, the new detachment options, new models, I want to hear from you. And please lastly, share this video, bring awareness to my channel, help me continue to grow. I'm going to go ahead and end it there, so please as always take care of yourselves. And until next time, hobby on.